This is a human brain specimen. You can see the superolateral surface, and here is a longitudinal fissure which separate the right and left cerebral hemisphere, and you can see below in the floor there are midline structures. Now this is superolateral surface. You can see the frontal pole, temporal pole, and occipital pole. Can you see these are gyri and these are sulci? So remember, these gyri and sulci are not constant. They vary from one individual to the other, and even they vary in the right cerebral hemisphere and left cerebral hemisphere of the same individual. Now you can see this is posterior ramus of the lateral sulcus. So if you separate its slips in the floor, you can see there are buried gyri and sulci. These are gyri and sulci of the insula embedded in the floor of the posterior ramus of the lateral sulcus. Now come to the inferior or basal surface. Now you can see this is cerebrum, then pons, medulla oblongata, and this is cerebellum. Now this is inferior surface of the cerebral hemisphere. So can you see the frontal pole, temporal pole, and occipital pole? So this whole is the basal or inferior surface of the cerebral hemisphere. This is orbital part and this is tentorial part. Here the tentorium cerebelli, the little fold, is lodging this groove separating the cerebrum from cerebellum. Now on the basal surface, can you see a remnant of olfactory tract here? Here olfactory bulb is cut. This is a right olfactory tract and this is left one. The bulbs are removed. And can you see this is olfactory sulcus on the basal surface? And can you see irregular H-shaped orbital sulci separating the anterior, posterior, lateral, and medial gyri? This is olfactory sulcus, and this is gyrus rectus, and this is longitudinal fissure, and the other hemisphere. Can you see parts of the right and left optic nerve? They are cut. Eyeballs are left in the skull. And can you see there is partial decussation between right and left optic nerve to form optic chiasma. And from the optic chiasma, this is right optic tract and left optic tract, which points around the midbrain and not visible. Can you see just behind the optic chiasma, this is raised area. This is tuber cinereum, and here was pituitary stalk and pituitary gland which are removed. And behind this, can you see this elevation 1 and 2? This one is the image. These are two mammillary bodies. So from before backward, can you see optic chiasma, tuber cinereum, to which the pituitary gland is attached, and right and left mammillary bodies. Then can you see midbrain? See midbrain, pons, and then medulla oblongata. And this is right and left cerebellar hemisphere connected by this worm-like structure called vermis. So you have seen some of the midline features of the cerebrum located between right and left cerebral hemisphere. Now, another cerebral hemisphere, superolateral surface, convex from before backward, from above downward, and this is posterior ramus of the lateral sulcus, and inside are buried gyri and sulci known as the insula. Frontal pole, temporal pole, occipital pole. Now basal surface is this one. Now here midline structure is given to remove right and left cerebral hemisphere. What are the midline structure which are cut? This is medial surface, and can you see this is corpus callosum. This is rostrum, genu, anterior end. Why anterior? Because this is frontal pole, occipital pole. So this is genu. The genu is continued as trunk of the corpus callosum, and this is posterior end of the corpus callosum, which is rounded. This is known as splenum. It is posterior end because this is posterior end or occipital pole, posterior pole. So with the help of poles, you can demonstrate that this is genu, which is anteriorly, this is splenum, which is posteriorly. Now, can you see this is the outer surface of the corpus callosum? And can you see this is the inferior surface of the corpus callosum? From the middle of the inferior surface of the corpus callosum, can you see this septum or partition arises? You can see this one. This is called septum pellucidum. This one. If you pass a needle through it, it means you will enter into the lateral ventricle of the cerebellum hemisphere. So here, this is interventricular foramen, and you can see the pointer is in the lateral ventricle of the cerebellum hemisphere. So this is septum pellucidum. This is lower free border of the septum pellucidum, and can you see a white band? This is fornix. So corpus callosum in the midline, under surface, septum pellucidum is attached, which separates the right lateral ventricle from the left lateral ventricle, and at the lower free bar of the septum pellucidum is the fornix. Now here is rostrum, the small extension of corpus callosum. So rostrum, genu, trunk, splenum, septum pellucidum, its lower free border is the fornix. Then anteriorly, can you see this rounded structure? This is the cut end of anterior commissure, and this is lamina terminalis, a thin sheet of membrane. So below the rostrum, this is anterior commissure, and this is lamina terminalis. Clear? Now posteriorly, here the pineal body is this is the pineal body, and rest of the posterior wall is ruptured in this specimen. Now below, can you see this is optic chiasma? This is remnant of the optic nerve, optic chiasma, optic tract, and this is mammary body which is cut, which is damaged. Then this is midbrain, a section through the midbrain. Can you see there is a canal passing through the midbrain here? Cerebral aqueduct. This is the midbrain, and this is the cerebral aqueduct which passes through it. Now, can you see here is third ventricle? So this is the right cerebral hemisphere. So this is the right lateral wall of the third ventricle. Can you see there is a sulcus, hypothalamic sulcus? So below, in front of the sulcus, this is hypothalamus. Above and behind the sulcus is the thalamus. So diencephalon, thalamus, hypothalamus. Thalamus above and behind, hypothalamus below in front, separated by hypothalamic sulcus. This diencephalon or hypothalamus and thalamus form the lateral wall of the third ventricle. Here is the cavity of third ventricle which is opened. So this third, can you see this is cut surface of the cerebellum to the vermis, and can you see a tent-shaped cavity in front? This is pons. From here up to here is the midbrain. From here up to here is the pons, and this is the upper part of the medulla oblongata. The rest of the medulla oblongata is removed. Now, can you see behind the pons and behind the medulla oblongata this tent-shaped cavity? This is called the fourth ventricle. So lateral ventricle through cerebral aqueduct which traverses through the midbrain, it communicates with the fourth ventricle. So we have seen the different structures in the midline which interconnect the right and left cerebral hemisphere. So here in the posterior wall, the pineal body and the pineal stalk and commissures, they are cut. They are cut. So you cannot see it. So again, I will repeat, this is medial surface of the cerebral hemisphere. Here is longitudinal fissure. In the floor is corpus callosum comprising of rostrum, genu, trunk, splenum. Under surface give attachment to a double membrane called septum pellucidum. And can you see this rod-like structure here at the lower border? This is fornix. And then anteriorly, this rounded white tissue. This is the anterior commissure, and this membrane is called lamina terminalis. The posterior wall is ruptured. Or inferiorly, from before backward, this is the optic chiasma, tuberous cinerarium. Then there is the upper end of the midbrain. The portion behind the aqueduct, this is called tegmentum of the midbrain. From before backward, you can see. So this is cavity of the third ventricle, And here one lateral wall of the cavity of third ventricle is visible. Above and behind is the thalamus, below and in front is hypothalamus. So this is corpus callosum, and I told you around it is the callosal sulcus. Can you see the cingulate sulcus? And this is cingulate gyrus, which curve around the curvature of the corpus callosum. And this is cingulate, this is the cingulate sulcus, which turn upwards, and then here, this is central sulcus. Can you see this U-shaped gyrus? This is paracentral lobule, which is on the supralateral surface, continuous with the precentral gyrus and postcentral gyrus. This is suprasplenial sulcus. Can you see the parieto-occipital sulcus and the calcareous sulcus? This is medial surface of the ossibone. So this is cuneus, and this is precuneus. And here you can see the central sulcus, which is damaged, precentral sulcus, here is postcentral sulcus, superior and inferior frontal sulci. Here you can see the posterior MS of the lateral sulcus. This is anterior horizontal tick, and the ascending is not clear. Now here there is pars orbitalis, pars triangularis, pars opercularis, Broca's area, which is motor speech area. And I told you that this is central sulcus. In front of it is precentral gyrus, behind is postcentral gyrus. The central sulcus separates the motor cortex from sensory cortex. This is the importance of this central sulcus. And these are other sulci and gyri. And I told you they vary in the same cerebrum, both of them, and also between individuals. So thank you very much.